Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Risk here, and today I'm coming to you guys with my settings in Modern Warfare and the best settings in Modern Warfare in my opinion. Anyway, guys, I'm not saying you should go ahead and use these settings. I believe some of them you should definitely use, but things like sensitivity and all that, you guys need to decide for yourself. Anyway, guys, let's get right into the settings. So for the controller settings, I basically run everything at default, as I have a controller with like buttons at the back, So basically, because I have a scuff pretty much, I play on the button layout preset default, but if I wasn't, I'd be playing on bumper jumper tactical flipped, because that's why I played with on BO4 when I ran out of like paddles and all that and my controller started to break. That just made it so like it was easier to jump around and shoot. For invert vertical look obviously off. I keep the dead zone at the default, I believe. And for the sensitivity, I know you guys are probably thinking this is hella low, 6.6, but I've always liked a lower sensitivity. I feel it's easier to control and stuff like that. For the ADS sensitivity, I play on 0.65, 0.65. Once again, you guys might think that's really low, but I feel I'm more accurate with it and more precise. Once again, these four are all personal preference, so I just mess around with that a little bit and see how you guys go with that. For aim response curve type, I play with dynamic. Now, I used to play on linear, I used to play on standard as well, but I came to realize that dynamic's a bit better for myself. I feel like I control the recoil and aim a little bit better. But once again, this is another thing which is personal preference, which you're going to have to mess around with a little bit. But if you're asking me, I'd say dynamic or linear. For control vibration, I turn it off as I feel it's distracting. And sometimes your controller can cause your hands to shake a bit, so it can like throw off your aim. I turned it off a while ago. I've never played with vibration. For the aim assist, I play on standard. I know there's other options, precision and focusing. I just feel these two are just a bit of a waste of time and not really worth doing. I prefer standard because it's more what we know. Precision and focusing's a bit like, I guess you can give it a go if it's something you want to try, but I personally believe standard's ideal. Weapon mount activation, just ADS plus melee. I'd rarely mount ever. Weapon mount movement exit enabled. Once again, I don't really mount, so I just leave that. Aim down sight behavior hold, equipment behavior hold. For use/reload behavior, I use tap to reload, but if you are playing Warzone, make sure to switch that to contextual tap, as it'll help you pick up items quicker. But in multiplayer, tap to reload is not ideal, because you will be like, I know if you get a VTOL, if you start like trying to pick up a weapon or trying to reload, it'll just call your VTOL to hover over you. So make sure to switch between these two in Warzone and multiplayer. For depleted ammo weapon switch, I just keep that enabled. Now this is a really important one. Slide behavior. Slide behavior needs to be on tap, because when you are slide cancelling, which is basically meaning when you like do the full sprint and double tapping circle or slide, it slide cancels. So make sure to have this on tap, because if you have it on hold, it's going to be a lot harder to slide cancel. Tapping makes it a lot easier. For auto move forward, I have that disabled. This is another important one. For automatic sprint, make sure to have automatic tac sprint enabled, because tactical sprinting can actually break your thumbsticks. It's happened to so many people I know. It's caused stick drift and stuff like that. So this basically means you just press the L3 once. You press L3 once and it'll just start doing the double sprint. And now I know at first it's going to be a bit awkward and a bit weird, but trust me, this setting will save your controller and will help you a lot. For all these, I just keep them enabled. General brightness, I just play on 50%. It's honestly up to your monitor. Safe areas up to your monitor. Film grain, I just play on 25%. Honestly, that's all personal preference, and this is all like kind of what your monitor's like. And for all this, I kind of keep it enabled. Besides colorblind type, I keep that disabled. Make sure to turn off world motion blur and weapon motion blur. I've seen some big YouTubers play with these two, and I don't understand how. It honestly hurts my eyes, it strains it, and it makes everything a bit more blurry and annoying. It's just some sort of extra effect they've added to try and make it look a bit cool. Now for the minimap shape, I use square. Square's just a bigger like block, I guess, obviously, than circle. I mean, if you prefer round, I prefer square just because you get to see a bit more of the map, and it's a bit more easier to look at than a circle. For minimap rotation, I just keep it enabled. This is up to you, letters, numbers, whatever. I just keep letters on. This stuff doesn't really matter, like text chat, profanity filter and all that. It's just up to you, I guess. For audio, I play on boost high, master volume at 100, music volume at 0, dialogue volume 100, effects volume 100. I actually should turn the dialogue volume down a little bit, but that's what I play at the moment. Music volume just because I don't want to hear the music, because I tend to keep this game idled a lot. And when I'm idling the game, I don't really want to hear in my ear the whole time. Juggernaut music enabled. Hit marker sound effects, I mean, it's up to you. Like, I prefer classic because that's what I'm used to, but Modern Warfare, whatever, it's honestly up to you. For the voice chat, I just keep that one enabled. Open mic recording threshold, all that I just kind of keep the same. This is all up to you for the voice chat preferences. Now, this is really important. I did not know about this till about last season. I disabled crossplay. Unless you're playing Warzone or Ground War, make sure to disable crossplay, because for whatever reason, you tend to get the easiest lobbies. Like, ridiculously easy lobbies. I don't know why. It's weird. Like, a lot of people accuse people of reverse boosting, but I think most people will disable crossplay and you get some bot lobbies. Like, if you want a bit more of a challenge, turn on crossplay, but I keep it disabled because I am a bot and I'd like to play against fellow bots. Crossplay communication, that's up to you once again. Friend requests and party, that's all up to you. Streamer mode, I keep it disabled. I would enable it, but I don't want to look like I'm playing against a bunch of bots in like a private match or something. I personally am not at like the level where if someone has an offensive name, I have to hide it because my audience is not like too offended by it. But if someone has an offensive name or whatever, I just kind of try to ignore it and brush it off. But you can enable it if you are a streamer or whatnot. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this little settings video. This is what I personally play on. Now, once again, some of these are personal preference. Let me know what sensitivity and stuff you play on down below. Let me know how you go once turning crossplay off for like lobbies and see how you go with your lobbies. Anyway, guys, it's been your boy Riss. Have a good one. Later.